He walked back into Colorado like nothing happened. No bag, no warning, no cameras. But what Coach Prime said to him next, that's the moment nobody is ready for.
Son, I love you. We've been on the journey, boy. We got the Lord on our side, son. We set it up like this, buddy. God is so good, so faithful. He presented this opportunity to you and no one else. So I want you to go out there and make them remember your last name. Take your time, hold the ball, get rid of it. Completions. We want completions. Enough completions, we're gonna run out of field. But mostly, I just want you to do you. Do your thing. Just because you only give them stage, it ain't gonna be the same thing.
Shedeur. Now, Deion Sanders Jr. did drop a video moments ago on Well Off Media kind of showing us that Shedeur did a pop-up visit on Coach Prime. Now, this was a great video. I looked at some of it, man. He literally just dropped it moments ago. Let me see here if I can get to the content where Shedeur is there. I don't know how long of a scene it is with Shedeur.
Nobody saw this coming. Not the fans, not the critics, and honestly, maybe not even Shedeur Sanders himself. Because when the NFL draft drama finally settled, when the dust cleared and the world had already moved on, something happened quietly, away from the cameras, away from the noise, something that reminded everyone why this family is different. Shedeur Sanders didn't disappear. He didn't hide. He didn't sit back and feel sorry for himself. He went back to where it all started. And what happened next? Nobody was ready for it.
Prime is back reunited in Colorado. Shedeur put on social media today, and Deion Sanders Jr. just dropped a video showing the world that he is back in Colorado, man. I told y'all the other day when I was on live, it's only a matter of time before Deion Sanders Jr. be reunited back with his brother, man, because it was getting close to the season, and I'm pretty sure Shedeur is not there to just play around. Shedeur's probably going up there to get ready to work out.
Picture this. Colorado, the altitude, the mountains, the same campus where Shedeur Sanders became a legend, where Coach Prime turned a broken program into a national conversation, where a father and son rewrote the rule book on what college football could look like. That place still means something to this family, and deep down, it always will. So when Deion Sanders Jr., Prime's oldest son, dropped a video on Well Off Media showing the world that Shedeur had made a surprise pop-up visit back to Boulder, the internet didn't just notice, it exploded. But here's what nobody's talking about. It's not just the fact that Shedeur showed up, it's why he showed up and what it says about who he really is. Let's rewind for a second, because context matters here. Shedeur Sanders went into the 2025 NFL Draft as one of the most talked about quarterbacks in years. 9 executives had him as the #1 quarterback prospect just 1 year before draft night. 9! The talent was never the question. The potential was never the debate. But draft night told a different story. Round after round passed, teams made their picks, and Shedeur, the kid who had carried Colorado on his back, the kid who had looked like a franchise quarterback every single Saturday, waited. You can imagine what that feels like. The cameras, the family, the whole world watching. Every passing pick, a quiet message. Every team that passed, a door that closed. And through all of it, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime himself, had to sit there as a father, not just as a legend, as a dad watching his son go through something no pep talk can fully prepare you for. Now fast forward, the draft is over. Shedeur eventually lands with the Cleveland Browns, and the critics? They came out fast. Mel Kiper, one of the most well-known NFL analysts in the country, got into a heated on-air debate defending Shedeur against people who were already trying to replace him in the conversation. Somebody brought up Ty Simpson, said the Browns need to figure out Ty Simpson, and Mel Kiper didn't let that slide.
Back in and get him.
Yeah, the Browns, by the way, need to figure out Ty Simpson as well.
The Browns don't have to worry about Ty Simpson. They got a better quarterback than Ty Simpson than Shedeur Sanders. Don't go there. The Jets have to be figuring out Ty Simpson. The Steelers have to figure it
real
out.
quick. Hold on, what's this right here?
Other conditions, didn't have an issue there. And in terms of mobility and athleticism, he showed that. People said he couldn't do that. He held up physically, taking hits, some incredible shots he took. So, to me, I don't know what else you would want, considering what he had.
He fired back hard. He pointed out that Shedeur went 3-4 in a situation that could have easily gone 4-3 with even average support around him. He noted that Shedeur held up physically, took incredible shots, and showed mobility that doubters said he couldn't show. He said, and this is important, that 9 executives had Shedeur as the top quarterback just 1 year before the draft. What changed? Nothing on the field. Nothing Shedeur did wrong. The narrative shifted, and Mel Kiper wasn't having it. He even drew the comparison to Baker Mayfield in Cleveland, a quarterback who almost got that franchise to a Super Bowl playoff game, who was winning and still got pushed out. Cleveland's history at quarterback speaks for itself. 15 times in last place in the AFC North since 2002. 15 times. That's not a quarterback problem. That's a bigger problem. And Kiper's message was clear. You don't just throw away a talent like Shedeur Sanders because the circumstances around him were messy. Organizations ruin players. That's not new. But the player himself? Shedeur proved he belongs. But here's the moment that hit different. The moment that went viral for a reason that has nothing to do with stats or draft grades or ESPN debates. Shedeur Sanders walked back through the doors of Colorado. No bag, no warning, just showed up at Coach Prime's facility like he never left. And when someone asked him why he didn't bring a bag, Shedeur's response was simple. He said, "I came because I knew you had clothes." That's it. That's the whole thing. Think about what that moment actually means. This is a young man who just survived one of the most public, most painful draft experiences in recent memory, who had the weight of expectations, legacy, and a nation's eyes on him, who watched analysts debate his worth on national television. And where did he go? Home. He went home.
Great way to finish the week. I thought it was a good week of practice all week. Our mentality was right, our intent was right, our purpose was right. When you're on a great team, it should go back and forth. It should never be one way, right? We should make a play on offense, I should make a play on defense. That's a great job of we're out here to get better. The only way we're gonna get great is by being violent and hard on each other every day, right? So when we get in the locker room, it should be okay if a guy chastises you.
Not to a beach. Not to hide. He went straight back to the altitude, back to the facility, back to his father. He showed up to work out, because that's what Shedeur Sanders does. When the world gets loud, he gets quiet. When the noise gets overwhelming, he goes back to the fundamentals. And then Coach Prime did what Coach Prime does best. He pulled his players together after practice that week and delivered a message that cut through everything. He talked about being your brother's keeper. He talked about iron sharpening iron. He talked about violence between the whistles and purpose and intent. And standing there, watching his sons back at that facility, watching Shedeur move through that weight room with the same hunger he's always had, you could feel it. This is not a story about a draft. This is not a story about where you get picked or what round your name gets called. This is a story about what you do after. About who you go back to when the world gets heavy, about a father who built something in Colorado that his son still comes back to, not because he has to, but because it still means something. The bond between Shedeur Sanders and Deion Sanders isn't just a football story, it's a family story, and family doesn't disappear when the cameras go away. Shedeur Sanders is just getting started. The doubters are already lining up. The takes are already being written, but none of that matters if you know where to look. Because the real story isn't on ESPN. It's not in the draft grades. It's in a son who shows up at his father's door without a bag, ready to work, ready to prove every single person wrong, one rep at a time. Some people play for contracts, some play for fame. Shedeur Sanders plays because it's in his blood, and he goes back to Colorado because that's where the fire was lit. You can't fake that, you can't manufacture that, and you absolutely cannot stop that. The journey is just beginning, and if you've been watching this family long enough, you already know you do not want to bet against them. If this story moved you, if you believe in what Shedeur Sanders is building, hit that subscribe button right now, because we cover every chapter of this journey, the setbacks, the comebacks, and every powerful moment in between. Don't miss what happens next.